Hello, YouTube world. Welcome back to the Black and White Effect. Glad to be back with you guys. My name is Derek. Um, Hope you guys are going to enjoy the content that I'm bringing tonight and the new content that I'm going to be creating coming up soon. I'm glad to have you guys with me tonight. But I've been kind of gone for a minute off social media. Been really doing some self-reflecting, working on myself, getting closer to the Most High. So, when you're going through that process, your antennas start to heighten because a lot of things around you didn't notice, but you're starting to notice much more. And you know, ever since the beginning of 2026, I mean, even going back to last year, there's been a lot going on in the world. And if you're one of those people that's just living your life out here and really not seeing what's really going on around you, then you missing out because we live in a very important time right now, one of the most important times in history. And that's kind of like what I want to talk about tonight because um, just like everybody knows, because they're watching the news, it's something going on every day. And it seems like things are getting worse and worse in the world today. Whether you've seen people gunned down on live television, whether you've seen how crazy this weather has been, all across the world, even America. I know for us here down south, we just dealt with some snow and some ice that had a lot of people's power out. And that was last week, and that power is still out. So, it's a lot going on. Um, Issues with the president, issues with this Epstein stuff. It's just a lot going on in the world today. But on top of that, you got people dealing with everyday life. So not only are you dealing with the foolishness that's on social media or out there in the world, but you dealing with life itself each and every day, whether you going to work, whether you dealing with, relationship, marital issues, kids issues, whatever the case may be, work issues, uh, financial issues. It seems like more than ever. And I don't know about y'all, but it seems like it's tough for a lot of people. This is not this is not 1999 where everybody is popping bottles and we going out buying new vehicles and we partying like it's 1999. Like that's not how it's going right now, especially for a lot of people. And as you can see across the news, there's a lot of people across this world that's hurting, man, because all of the foolishness that's going on in this world. And that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into a little bit of it. My thoughts on what's going on with a lot of these different issues, but also what's going on in my own community. That's one of the main topics tonight, and that's what I really want to start with because I was doing some thinking. I was just sitting back meditating and just really trying to understand my next move in life. How I'm going to be better going forward in my life, working on whatever issues that I have in my life and continue to be better because everybody can do that. Um, you're you're not special to the point where you can't work on yourself. So it's always good to sit back and reflect and to you know, f- you know check on the things that you feel like is more important to you and work on those things. That's important. That's growth. That's growth and maturity. But while I was sitting back and I was just pondering and really thinking about some things and what my next move is going to be and what I'm looking forward to and what I really want to work on. I'm looking at the news every single day and I'm just seeing so much that's happening. Um, Several shootings with the ICE, thing. You got people losing their homes and people are homeless at a record pace and food recalls every single day. Something is constantly going on with our food. And a lot of us, we just walking through this world as though everything is fine. Like everything there's nothing going on that I should be concerned about. And especially my community as black people, as copper color people. Um, we're so loving, we're so giving, we're so patient with people. We try to help out anybody we can. That's just how, black people, that's how we are. We loving people. That's just in us. That's just something that the Most High placed in us. And even if you do us wrong, for a lot of us, hey, we still will forgive you and still be there for you. That's just how we are. But I think right now, if you take a look across Black America, you can see that a lot of black folks is not marching like they used to. You can see a lot of black people not online doing a lot of foolishness like they used to, because a lot of people are waking up to this system that we living in. And if you go into the grocery store every single day because you trying to stretch that check out, and you going to buy groceries every single day, and you go in there with 4 or 5 things in your basket, and that costs you about $80, then times that we living in. It's ridiculous. Stress is up to all time high. People anxiety is going through the roof. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their homes. It's a lot going on. And I think for a lot of us, you have to be strong in your will and know who you are during this time. Because if you don't work on yourself and get to know who you are, and that's the most important thing, especially for black folks, we got to start sitting back and really figuring out who we are, where we come from. Go back and look at our family lineage and see where our ancestors came from. What was their names? What did they do? You never know. It might be some kings and queens and emperors in your family ancestry. You don't know because we don't do that research. A lot of us, I'm gonna say, most of us in the black community still think we came from Africa, which is a lie. Our ancestors was already here on this land when they came and took over. We were already here. This is black people's land. From Canada to United States, all the way down to Mexico, South America, whatever you want to call it. That's all copper colored black folks' land from the beginning of time. So to get back to what I'm saying, when you got a world that's going as crazy it is right now, and you don't know what's going to happen next, because I'm telling you, if you don't have a relationship with God right now in your life, it's probably the best time to get one. Because when you're going through all the psychological battles, is this a spiritual war that's going on right now? When you're going through all the psychological battles of your job, dealing with bills, dealing with issues with your family members, dealing with issues trying to figure out who you are and what's your next move, and you got the world on top of that, and all of this foolishness and the things that's going on that psychologically will stress you out, and you don't have nothing to do with it. It's stressful watching the news now. When you just seeing people getting gunned down in the middle of the street on live TV every night, that's not normal. But we so sanitized to it, like that we so used to it because we see killings on TV every day, that we just like, oh, okay, I'll pray for that person and we're gonna keep it going. I hope that person's family is okay. We're gonna keep it going. And then the next night is gonna be another murder. And we're gonna say the same thing. Or another ice shooting. And we're gonna say the same thing. It's gonna be a story. We're gonna talk about it for a day or two, and then we're gonna move on. That's not normal, people. When every time you look around, there's a recall on food every single day. It's almost like you can't eat nothing, breathe air, and drink water. If you can do that, everything is bad for you. And it's really not that everything is bad for you, it's everything that The United States government has put in our food or on our food, make it unhealthy, unfit for us to eat, that causes cancers and all type of different diseases. Why would you want to do that to your people? You gotta understand the times that we're living in. Some people say, we living in the last days. I don't know because it's been the last days for quite a while. Pastors and preachers been preaching about the last days for quite a while. We don't know. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this every time I get a chance. We don't know when the Most High is gonna come back. We don't know what's what. If you really think about it and be honest with yourself, because I'm still talking about what's going on in today's time, in today. If you really sit down and think about it, sometimes when we going through what we going through in this world, especially, and I'm only can talk about me, myself, and my community. So when you're going through this everyday struggle called life and things on top of that keep piling up on you, especially as a black person, as a copper color person, you get tired because life will weigh you down and take you so far to the bottom till you start to at some point start to question God. You get that low because you felt like I shouldn't even be this low. What did I do in my life? Sometimes when you're going through it so much, sometimes you look back and say, what did I do in the past? Or what did I do lately to receive what I'm receiving? Because it feels like I'm getting lower and lower. Every time I try to pick myself up, here comes something else knocking me right back down. Okay, the bills knocked me down. I'm getting right back up. I done fought it off. I done figured out a way. Boom, here goes something else. Somebody done died in your family. You fall right back down. Pick yourself right back up. Here goes something else. Boom, hitting you again. That's just life. Then on top of that, you gotta deal with racism too as a black person. That's a lot. That's why it's important for us to get to know who we are. Start working on ourselves. Start spending time with yourself, learning who you are. Work out, exercise more instead of being on social media. Because the same way that you move those fingers up and down is the same way you can take them same fingers and put it on the exercising machine and punch it in so you can start walking and running and exercising to better yourself. Eat healthier. You don't have to answer every phone call because you know that person that's calling you ain't doing it but calling you to waste your time, to ask you for advice that they already didn't ask you for, that you already gave them the answer to. They want to do what they want to do. Learn to know who you are. You can't start to be nothing if you don't know nothing. We got to start figuring out our lineage, where we come from, who we are, so we can take back what's ours. It's sad to know that there are a lot of black folks that are struggling in this world on this land, and that land is theirs. And another thing, and this is something that I learned personally in my life, and maybe you have been in that situation too. But as I continue to grow and mature, I'm starting to understand that everybody that looks like me, color wise, ain't for me or for our people. So you got to go through life in order to understand that. And sometimes it's the closest people to you, the ones that you think love you, is the ones that will sit there and stab you in your back and hide the knife and said, "What happened? Is there anything I can help with?" You did it. Loyalty? What loyalty? I don't know what happened to family. Family that used to get together, that it doesn't have to be a holiday just for them to get together, calling each other, checking in on each other. That's family. Being there when somebody is down or in need, or it don't even have to be when they down in need. Just being there, going over their house, sitting down talking with them. We don't do that no more. There's people that live in a house together that would text each other as though they're in a different state. Why? Maybe if we start learning who we are, the royalty bloodline that we have inside of us that's been passed down from generations to generation. Now, a lot of our ancestors didn't have a lot of the knowledge that we have today, the technology that we have today. Excuse me. A lot of them didn't have that. So it was oral teachings. It wasn't anything that was written down. They orally taught it to each other through language and passed that language down from generation to generation. Because the power that we held and we still hold to this day, you couldn't write that down. That can be easily taken. But when you can pass it down from generation to generation, then somebody catches wind of this and want to take that away from you so they can use that to rip you of your land, to rip you of your ancestor lineage. That's powerful. That means you walking around here like a zombie and don't know who you are. Again, if you learn who you are and take the time to work on yourself, you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff that you didn't see before. You're going to stop texting back when that person keep texting you. You're going to stop putting yourself in other folks' situations. You're going to start realizing that your time spending with yourself is much more important than actually going to that party or going to that get together, because you're going to be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to deal with that stress. I don't want to deal with that headache and that foolishness. You start choosing you. And when people start seeing you choosing you and working on yourself, then that's when they feel some type of way. Now you can start peeking out who the haters are in your life. It ain't got to be people close to you. It's people that don't even know you. They see that oil on your life, that anointing that you have on your life, that that glistening glow of glory around you, and they don't like it. They can smell you coming. Even our own people. A lot of our people love to be house Negroes. They don't want to deal with the people in the field because they think they high and mighty up there with master. Some of our own people. As we try to build this revolution of copper colored black people getting back to where we ought to be in this land, in this world, freeing our minds from this cage, what they call the world, to step back and to know who we are as people, how covered we are, how we are God's chosen people, how this land is ours and we're royalty. We come from royalty. But we don't know that because we too busy killing each other. We too busy not trying to talk to each other, dealing off something that happened 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago in your own family. You mean tell me you can't pick up that phone and call that person and have a conversation? You want to be that low down? Is it worth it? Because again, when you get to know who you are, sometimes you sit back and be like, me arguing with this person really ain't gonna it, it's not worth it. So I'm still gonna love them. I'm still going to treat them right, but I'm not going to try to cause something that's gonna cause friction between me and this person or to keep it going. That's when you know who you are. And then when you know who you are, you can get through this world a lot more easier than a lot of people. Yeah, it's tough seeing people die every single day. Yeah, it's tough seeing that homeless person laying on the ground and people just walking over them like they not there. Yeah, it's tough seeing the news every day when you seeing shootings and killings of children and everyday normal people. It's hard when you see grocery prices constantly going up and going up. Grocery bills going out the it's a lot. Mental health is real. Start auditing your situation and figuring out from the people that's close to you to the people that's around you. Start figuring out. I may need to start cutting them like a basketball team. Because if you ain't got no players on your team that's for you or care about you or love you, then what you're gonna start having is a bunch of snakes around you. And when them lights go out, you ain't gonna see who biting you. So that's why it's always good to have as less friends as possible and less people in your business. And that way you won't have all these issues coming to your door. Talk to your family members, talk to your grandmother, talk to your great grandmother, and figure out your lineage. Go back through history, connect the dots. Because it's important for us to know who we are as a people. And I'm gonna say this one last thing before I hop off here. You know, if you are normal, everyday person that gets up and try your best in this world to bring some goodness into this world. It can be the smallest thing you possibly can, but you're trying to bring goodness into this world, even though there's a lot of evil. You see it around you all day long, and it's tough because you're trying to stay on the right path. You're not trying to indulge in anything. You're not trying to give your time to anything that's wrong. You're not trying to be a bad influence on anybody. You trying your best to walk the straight and narrow, and it's hard when you walk trying to do that in this world when so much is against you. See, a lot of people don't know how that feels if you're not black. It's a very thin line to walk, and you got to be mentally strong to do that. To keep getting knocked down and keep getting up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's tough. I seen my father working on those construction sites. I seen how those people that own those businesses and those companies tried to talk to him, and they didn't get very far doing that. So you got to know who you are. You ain't gonna let any and everybody talk to you any type of way. Be sure of yourself. For our ancestors to go through what they went through, you gotta be strong minded. For their land to get stripped away from them, the homes, everything that they built, all the temples and all the history that they done left behind. All this gold that we seeing everywhere, that belongs to our ancestors. silver, copper, whatever you or whatever you want to call it. That's resources in this world belongs to our ancestors. So we can't walk around here like we nothing because you something. You just got to believe in who you are. Sometimes it's okay to trim the fat with people around you, situations around you. You move differently. You think differently. And if people not thinking on the same level that you think, you need to cut them loose. It's gonna be hard. If people ain't treating you right, cut them loose. If people don't want to love you as much as you loving them, cut them loose. You can't keep giving and giving and giving and giving your time, effort, and energy to people while they take advantage of you. And you're supposed to still be loving and kind. You can't do that. That's unfair. But when you know who you are, you don't deal with that. This world will swallow you and spit you out if you're not strong minded. You got to be. It's hard enough, like I said. It's hard enough, people. So continue to work on yourselves, continue to get close to God, continue to be better, represent better, know who you are, find out what your lineages are. Um, and try to walk in your power. Walk in your power. Because once you start walking in your power and knowing who you are, all this other stuff really ain't gonna it really ain't gonna matter to you. Not saying that you're not gonna care, but what I'm saying is that you're gonna start understanding what you need to put your emotions into and what you don't. So that's my time on here, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I will be back on here with some new content. Please like, share, and subscribe whenever you get a chance. Share this show with anybody that you know. But I'm out.